one thing about me, you either gonna love me or you gonna hate me. Ain't no in between. The more you trust yourself, the better you will be able to tell when somebody is not for you. Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This video is about self-worth. I've been talking about self-worth and confidence and self-esteem. They're all different, but they're all one and the same at the same time. Something that I've been learning about self-esteem is to keep showing up even when you don't feel like showing up, to keep showing up even when you're hurting, even when you're going through things. And that's something that I've struggled with a lot. I'm not perfect whatsoever by any means, but I always try to make sure that I put my best foot forward, whether it's for myself, for y'all, or for other people. So if you don't know what self-worth is basically knowing what we deserve and believing that we deserve those things. We can save ourselves so much time, so much heartbreak, so much life and energy for ourselves when we know things we need to let go of. With self-worth, it is knowing what you want and that you deserve your wants, but also self-worth is about knowing that you deserve what you need. Needs are more important than wants, and that's something that I've had to learn on my self-love journey. Those needs need to be stronger than what you want. Yes, you can want to have you a little bad boy, because I know some of y'all girls like them bad boys, but are they good for you though? Are they what you need to enrich your soul? Are they what you need to keep going through life? Are they gonna pour into you like you pour into them? Them family members around you that gossip and are toxic, are they what you need around you? Yes, you may love them, but are they what you need? Those friends that are fake, y'all keep falling out every other day. Are those your friends? Is that what you want? Is that what you need in your life? If you're telling yourself that you're trying to go farther in life, if you have goals, if you have dreams and ambitions, the last thing you need is the toxic people draining you and taking you down. But we know this already. This is nothing new that I'm saying. Like I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself too, because I've been needing to hear it too. Something that I heard like literally last night was we have to learn how to move on and grieve at the same time. For me personally, I've always been the type of person that if I get hurt, it will stop everything that I'm doing. It will stop me from pursuing my passions. It will stop me from wanting to get up, live my life, and be who I am. But recently, I've had to learn that we can be hurting, but we still have to get up and go. I've wasted so much time by ruminating on the hurt, dealing with all the toxic things that were around me. And don't get me wrong, I've definitely removed myself, but that does not mean that the pain doesn't still hurt. We're only human. I'm only human. You're only human. We have feelings. We're not robots, and we're not perfect. Of course, we're gonna have bad days. Of course, we're gonna go through periods where it feels like everything is just crashing down and like nothing is going right and there's no hope. And that's okay for you to feel, but that doesn't mean that you stop doing what you're doing. I haven't posted a video in probably 3 months. And even before, I don't know if you guys could tell, but I was trying my best. I was going through so much. I allowed that stuff to keep me from what I was doing. And that's not what I need, because if I want to reach my better self, if I want to reach all of my goals, what I need to do is to focus on myself and keep putting in the work to be where I want to be instead of giving up hope. And I'm not saying that there's times where you won't feel like you want to give up. Of course, that's normal. We're only human. And yes, it's hard. It's very hard, because it's like, how do I keep pushing when I'm hurting so bad? But like I said before, y'all, we got to learn how to take our pain and turn it into power. Put it into something that we love to do. Put it towards changing our lives for the better, if anything. And one day, you know, we'll look back on that pain and we'll probably laugh at it. Like, man, I can't believe I was stressing like that. I can't believe I was crying like that. I can use myself as a personal example. I've had to leave several fake and unsupportive people behind. I can count on probably 2 hands how many people I've had to leave. Probably more than 2. And do I regret it? No, not really. Sometimes I feel bad, but at the end of the day, it wasn't what I needed. Recently, I've had an old friend reach out to me, probably to have a conversation or to apologize. But at the end of the day, they showed me exactly why they're not in my corner today. When it comes to fake people and unsupportive people in your life, you don't owe them anything, and you deserve better than what they have to offer. It doesn't mean that you're better than anybody. It doesn't mean that you're above them, but it just means that what you have is not for me. I might need a little bit more than that. And I understand that everybody is on their own journey, but for me personally, what I need is honesty and vulnerability. If you can't be vulnerable with me, then why are we in contact? Why would I be around you? If you can't put your pride and your ego to the side, I can't do that. And at the end of the day, y'all, I don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe anybody anything. Just because somebody walks back into your life expecting you to be how you were, how you used to be, doesn't mean anything. I don't owe you anything because I'm not that person no more. The old me would have chased them, which is what they wanted. They knew that I was desperate for friendship. They knew that I was desperate to be around people. They knew that they were the only friend that I had at the time. So why not use that against me? They knew I was a people pleaser. So why not take advantage of me? But the old me, we don't do no chasing. It's too hot to be chasing. Like, it's Texas. Like, it's too hot to be chasing. Let me stop being corny, but you understand what I'm saying, though. I love anybody that I don't talk to anymore. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to be the old person that you knew me as. I'm not really hurt or fazed by it because, you know, I expect these things from people. I expect more bad than good from people. And dropping my expectations for people have really helped me in my self-worth journey. Because sometimes when we meet people and we want them to be like the image we created them in our heads or the potential that we see them to be, we can sometimes tie our worth up in that. And you start building this person like it's a project. And of course you're going to tie your worth into it because you've put in time, you put in work, you put in love and energy. You put in too much. So of course, naturally, whenever that person isn't being what you want them to be, you feel hurt from it. Dropping those expectations have saved me. If anything, I expect the worst out of people. I don't put nothing past anybody. I think that anybody can do anything to me at any time. People have to show me who they are. People have to show me why they're worthy of my time. I'm not going to just expect them to just because we had one good conversation. No. If you're different, you might need a little less. Who knows? But my self-worth tells me what I deserve is a little bit more than what you have to offer. You can't give me what I need. Yeah, a friendship will be what I want. A relationship will be what I want. But if that relationship that I want is not what I need, then baby, I don't want it. My next point is detachment. And yes, I spoke on this briefly a minute ago, but I want to elaborate a little bit more. You have to learn how to detach yourself from people, places, and expectations. Everybody is not like me. And yes, it would be easier to believe that. It would be easier to think, well, why isn't everybody kind? Why isn't everybody empathetic? Why isn't everybody understanding? Everybody was raised differently. And you know, everybody is on their own journey. I'm not here to judge anybody, but I do know that my self-worth says that's not what I need. And I don't deserve that. I used to be the type of person that assumed people already knew what I needed from them. And I expected them to reciprocate what I was giving them automatically with no conversation. When people wasn't giving me back the energy that I gave them, I was hurt. I was disappointed. And that's what happens, y'all, when we don't vet people the right way. When we're quick to jump into relationships and friendships, you get disappointed because you thought, well, just because they said this one good thing, I'm expecting them to be good the whole relationship, the whole friendship. Just because I'm giving them everything that I have and I'm giving them 100%, I expect them to be the same way. Meanwhile, y'all probably never even had this conversation. This person probably doesn't even know that that's what you expected him. And then y'all beef. Y'all butt heads because y'all don't even know that there's silent expectations on one another. They expect you to do this for them and you expect them to do that for you. It doesn't work. Even though I was hurt and I was disappointed in several different situations, at the end of the day, it made me stronger because it gave me more boundaries and it helped me learn how to protect myself mentally and emotionally. You can't expect somebody that you met last week to be loyal to you. You can't expect a coworker to be loyal to you. You can't expect a guy that doesn't commit to people commit to you. Biggest thing that I probably learned is that we are the rule. We are never the exception. You know, everybody say, well, I'm the exception to the rule. You know, I know somebody who did X, Y, and Z. That's cool for them. But most of us, we are the rule. We are not the exception. So much time worrying about other people, trying to fix them up to be who you think they should be, staying in toxic situations. You're going to be the rule. You're going to be hurt, sad, disappointed, heartbroken. It's just like those situations with the other woman. They always think they're better until that man does them the same exact way. And I know that's harsh to hear, but it's the truth. Start having better expectations for yourself instead. How about, you know, I expect myself to get to a certain point by this time of year. I expect myself to start building these habits so I can be better in this way. I expect myself to keep being the kind, loving person that I am. I don't expect myself to ever change for nobody. I don't ever expect myself to change just because somebody hurt me. Rather than expecting from other people, expect for yourself. That's your self-worth. It's all about you. It's not about the other people. And forget how anybody else feels about it. Because I know somebody wanted me to make a video about haters, and I did, but I scrapped it. What I want you to do is ask yourself, why do I want this person, this place, or this thing to be what I want it to be? And when you ask yourself that, you might get a real answer. If you don't get an answer, just sit there and wait for something to come up. Or you can journal it out. I find that when I journal, more things that I probably wouldn't think of just naturally come out. So what comes up for you? Is it because it's comfortable? Is it because you don't know anything else? Because you don't think that you deserve better? Because those all can be limiting beliefs. Sometimes we're brought up to believe that this is what we deserve just because that's what we've seen everybody else do. We've seen our family in toxic relationships. So we grow up to believe, well, that's normal. That's what I deserve too. That's what I want. My mom held a man down. That's what I want. My dad was a bad boy, so that's what I want. This person didn't mind being a side chick, so why should I? This person doesn't mind being a home wrecker, so why should I? We grow up subconsciously not even knowing these things. Whatever the reason is for you, debunk that with some more fulfilling truths about yourself and for yourself. I believe that God would want us to have peace. And I believe that He would want us to have real, true love. That's something that you should tell yourself, because that's what God would want for us. And you should want that for yourself too. Or even if that's not what you feel, maybe it should just be that you don't want to be miserable anymore. You don't want to feel the way that you feel every time that you throw yourself into a situation that is not beneficial for you. And that you know that you're better than. That was one of the main things that made me start my self-love journey and my self-worth journey, was knowing that I didn't want to be miserable anymore. I wanted more for myself, out of my life. I wanted more from people, and heavy on that last one. Instead of trying to bring out things from people that are not there, how about we go try to find some more fulfilling people, more people that have what we're looking for, more people that have what we need. That way we can be equally yoked and we can give as much as we take. And the same vice versa. We would save so much heartbreak, so much time, so much pain from that. Another one, like I said before, wanting more out of my life. Me growing up, I was never told that I could have a big life, that I could have big dreams. I had to start believing that by myself from a young age. And yeah, of course, you're gonna have people that try to tell you, oh, you're dreaming too big, you're doing too much. You need to stop doing what you're doing. You need to be more realistic. But no, why be realistic? Being delusional is the only way to go. And I recently heard somebody say that God is delusional and the devil is realistic. The devil will try to make you believe that things should be more realistic. Well, you know you should leave that job because it's not serving you no more. The devil will tell you, oh, well, you need to pay these bills. You need to do X, Y, and Z. Knowing good and well your mental and your physical health are suffering. God will tell you to do something crazy. Even though it's crazy, it's better for you. I've left so many situations just because God told me to. And because I felt it for myself and I wanted better for myself. And yeah, it didn't make sense at the time, but now that I'm looking back on it, of course it does. And even though I might not feel that way all the time, of course, we're never going to feel that way in the present moment. But when we look back on it, we're going to be grateful that we listened. Listening to ourselves, our intuition. Once you start to open up to your self-worth, you start to build on that, you build your confidence, your intuition will start to grow. And that's probably the main reason why so many people can't even hear their intuition. Because you steadily do things to push it down, to mute it. You know it ain't right, but you do it anyway because you feel good, because it feels right. You're going against yourself. You should never go against your intuition because your intuition is always going to save you. That's where I messed up in life, 17, 18, was because I went against myself. Not that I didn't know better, it's just because I wanted to do what I wanted to do. The self-worth is you knowing that you deserve better, and you're going to go against what you actually want. Because like I said before, what you want isn't always what's good for you. You don't deserve to be miserable anymore. If you want to be happy, if you want to be larger than life and free spirit and have this warm energy, you deserve to be able to do that. It don't matter because somebody else said that you couldn't, just because somebody else believes that they can't. Other people's self-worth and their limiting beliefs has nothing to do with you. People's inability to change, to grow, to learn has nothing to do with you. In order to know that somebody is for us, we have to let them prove themselves. Consistency. And I know I can't be talking about consistency because I haven't been consistent on YouTube. But what I'm talking about with consistency is your character. Are they consistent with their character? Because somebody's energy and their character can be one way in the beginning, but 6 months later, a year later, are they the same? You know, that boyfriend that you have, how he was so sweet in the beginning, but now he's just different and he was never like that. The thing is, he was always like that. You just didn't see it because you wanted to do what you wanted to do. You probably ignored the red flags. You've probably done toxic situation after toxic situation. That means your intuition is muted. So now you don't even hear anything. You just jump into it and hope for the best. And I'm not coming for you. I'm not judging you because I've been there too. But at some point, we got to start holding ourselves accountable for the things that we go through. Because it's not always somebody else's fault. That friend you had, y'all been friends for years and all of a sudden they turn on you. They're jealous of you. But they haven't always been like that. I don't know where this came from. No, they've probably always been jealous. You're just now seeing it because they can't really hide it that well anymore. And when you learn to start trusting yourself and to build that relationship with yourself and your inner child, and you start hearing your intuition more louder, it won't even take you that much time to figure out when somebody is for you. I can smell a fake and unsupportive person from a mile away. It don't take me no month or two to find out that you're not for me. I have too much experience for that. It won't take me that long to know what type of person you'll be. That friend that you said was jealous of you, you can tell people are jealous just by their beliefs. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're jealous of you from the beginning. But if they believe certain things, it means this person probably can't be around me if they think like that, because eventually they'll become jealous of me. One thing about me, you either gonna love me or you gonna hate me. Ain't no in between. That's how it's always been. And more people don't like me than they do like me. But that's fine, because like I said, I love myself and I like myself, and I know I deserve better than you anyways. That ain't me being arrogant. That's not me flexing. That's me being confident in who I am and knowing what I need, knowing what I want. It ain't you. The more you trust yourself, the better you will be able to tell when somebody is not for you. If they are not consistent with what they're doing, they are not for you. One thing people can never say about me is that I've never been the same. Of course, I've changed and I've grown and I'm not the same person that I was, and we shouldn't be. We shouldn't be the same person that we was last year. My character has always been the same. I'm still the same kind, loving, supportive person that I've always been. I just have more boundaries, I have more confidence, and I know what I deserve. And if you don't like me for that, I don't know what to tell you. Keep working on yourself, keep getting better at it. And if you have any questions at all, just let me know. I'm only a couple types away. We're on this journey together. I'm not perfect at all. And sometimes we do backslide. But backsliding doesn't mean that you can't get back up and keep climbing. It doesn't mean that you can't keep going forward. It doesn't mean that all your progress went out the window. It takes time, confidence, self-worth, self-esteem, boundaries, all the things that I talk about on this channel, all comes with practice. It doesn't come overnight, of course not. It didn't come overnight for me. It took me about 2 years from where I started. Something I also want to say is that just because we're young doesn't mean that we have time to make these life-changing choices. These choices that'll change our life for the worse. I'm 20 years old. I'm pretty sure most of y'all are about my age, or y'all might be older. That doesn't mean we have time to just make terrible choices, because those terrible choices are gonna come back to us. The people we date, that just leaves us with trauma if we're dating the wrong people. The friends we have, that's leaving us with trauma if we're being with the wrong people. So just be a little bit more picky. Be selfish with yourself before you just go and do something that'll change your life ultimately for the worse. And of course, learn to love yourself. You can go back and check all my other videos, but that's all that I have to say. I hope that you like this video, and I hope that you gained something from it. I know that I needed to hear that as well. I hope that y'all really learn to love yourselves, because that's all that I want for you, and that's all I want for me, and that's all that I want for the world. I want the world to have more love in it. Of course, we can't change the world completely because everybody isn't willing to change, and we're only in control of what we can control, right? Just control the controllables. Learn to let go, detach, drop expectations. Just control yourself. Control your emotions. Control what you allow to be around you. Those are the things that you can control, not somebody else or how they act. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. I want y'all to start following me on Instagram at Savannah right here. No, I'm not on there just yet, but I want to start growing that page as well. Thank y'all so much for 1,500 subscribers. I know y'all been here for a long time, and I know I haven't been showing up, but I still appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart for even getting me this far, for even supporting me this long. And it's about time that I start giving y'all what y'all have been giving me. Y'all have kept me going through some of the hardest times of my life, and I felt bad for not even being here, but I'm back now, and hopefully I'm better, and hopefully I stay consistent this time. I don't know, we'll see. But thank y'all so much for each and every one of y'all that are here. Thank you to everybody that has checked up on me. I really appreciate that. You will never know how much that means to me, and I'll see y'all in my next video.